Interested in buying a home in South Carolina? How about a home in the Lowcountry? Through the years, I've put together a 4-phase plan to help you achieve that goal. Buy a home in the Lowcountry. From start to finish. If you just keep watching, you might learn a few things. How to choose a realtor, come down here, choose the right home. Stick around. If you're new to the channel, you might want to subscribe, and let's get down to it. Step number 1, or phase number 1, is what I call the discovery phase. Number 1, you've got to find a good realtor. That's all there is to it. It's really tough to drive down to the Lowcountry and go through a bunch of models and just kind of meet somebody and you're not sure who represents who, and you can get yourself in trouble that way. This is a pretty big investment. This is your retirement home. This is a second home. It's a big investment. So I recommend finding yourself a good realtor. It's easy to check people out. You can check me out. Social media, do they have a website? If a real estate agent doesn't have a website, there's a little bit of a red flag there, but who knows? Just a little bit of information for you on Zillow. When you look at Zillow and you're looking at different houses, the agent right underneath the listing, that's their listing. All those other agents are paying a fee to Zillow to get leads. So, you know, that's not neither good or bad, but just be aware of it, that those agents are paying a fee on Zillow for you to click on their name and they'll get the lead. So anyway, if you're with me, I'm going to discuss agency disclosure, who works for who. I work for you. I'm a buyer's agent, all the South Carolina law. Then we're going to have a big old discussion on what you're looking for. Your wants, your desires, your needs, your wish list, everything. It's really, really important that you let me know what you're looking for. I mean, all the details. That's important. I'm going to set you up with an MLS portal. Now that's directly into the Hilton Head MLS system. It's a portal designed for you based on your criteria. I'm going to set it up and you're going to get emails if there's new listings, there's price changes, whatever it is, you're going to find out about it. It's better than Zillow. Zillow sometimes just isn't as accurate, but this is tied into the MLS, so it's great. And then I'm going to recommend an arrangement to where you can come down and visit the properties. This is in your discovery phase. You're going to be looking at all this property. And it's very important, the discovery phase. Okay, so we've got phase number 1 out of the way. That is the discovery. Now we're going to talk about explore. That's the second phase in this. Explore means you're going to come down here. You're going to come down to the Lowcountry, Bluffton, Okatie, Hilton Head. Looks like Okatie, but it's really Okatie. You're going to explore. You're going to get in the car. You're going to go to the beaches. You're going to go to Old Town, Bluffton. You're going to go to Shelter Cove Marina. You're going to go to Savannah. You can take a day trip and go to Charleston. You're going to look all over the area. Restaurants, shopping, and beaches, great beaches. And you're going to say, this is the type of place that I'd like to retire to. This is the type of place I'd like to have a second home with. Anyway, it's important, the explorer part. We're going to make an appointment. We're going to look at some homes or home sites. In this video, I'm kind of referring to homes, but it could be home sites as well. But we're going to discuss POA fees in the different communities. We've got 150 gated communities around here. We're going to talk about POA fees, hidden assessments, transfer fees. Transfer means you're not getting the money back. All kinds of fees associated with these gated communities. We're going to have a discussion about that. We're going to develop a list, and we're going to go out and look at properties. And you're going to be honest with me, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a straight shooter. And I'm going to tell you about my 80% rule. Got this from a customer. A customer once said to me, looking through a bunch of houses, he said, you know, if I could just find 80% of what I'm looking for, I can figure out the other 20%. I love that, because that's a good rule to go by. So, because there's no perfect place. There isn't anything perfect. So we're going to go the 80% rule. And we're going to discuss your expectations. What are the pictures in your head? The expectations are huge. And that is the second phase. Let's talk about phase number 3. I had to write all this stuff down because I can't remember all this stuff. It's important. This is phase 3, execution. Okay? We find a home or a home site. You love it. You think it's great. It's 80%. It's wonderful. Okay, we want to write a fair offer based on comps, of which I'm going to look up because I'm your buyer's agent. Typically, the seller is paying the commission, so I am your agent. I'm going to look up the comps. We're going to look into this, and I'm going to discuss the paperwork with you in South Carolina, because you may be coming from Ohio or wherever you're coming from, but you know what? We've got all different paperwork and all different rules and lawyers and everybody else down here. So we have an offer to purchase, that's the main contract. We've got agency disclosure, we discussed that earlier, okay? Agency disclosures, you know, who represents who and everything else. Buyer's agency agreement, that's important because that means I'm working for you. A lot of agents have the customer, client, sign that before they even go out. I don't really like that. It just kind of makes people uncomfortable when they have to sign something, they don't know you. And anyway, you're going to sign it anyway if you buy something, but it's part of the paperwork. Home disclosure form, South Carolina law. Every home site has to have a home or property disclosure form, and that's going to tell you all about the work they've done on it, how old is the house, the HVAC, the roof, any improvements they made, all kinds of stuff like that. You're going to sign off on that. You're going to bring a pre-qualification letter. All right, so you have lenders up north, and they're your friends and this and that. I've had many of complication happen because lenders up north don't know what's going on down here with our POA fees and what we need down here, the attorneys to close and all that. So just be careful about that. We have great lenders down here, great financing institutions, great mortgage loan officers. We have all of that. That's great. They just have to be aware of what's going on down here. And I can recommend the proper people. And I'm going to recommend an attorney firm. An attorney's going to do the closing. The money's going to be held in escrow. Your initial earnest money deposit's going to be held in escrow. I typically like to get, depending on what it is, let's say $5,000. It's a $3 million home, maybe $50,000. So depending on what it is. And it's going to be made out to the attorney firm. They're going to hold it in escrow. So that's the paperwork involved. We're going to negotiate in good faith. I have clients come down, well, I'll show them how to negotiate. Maybe. If you're in Sun City, you're going to get 98% of list price to sales price. Those are the numbers. That's the way it is. If it's a really nice luxury golf community, as I always tell my clients, these people are not down to their last shekel. So yes, we're going to negotiate, but this is a different animal down here. The resort, retirement, real estate, just different. So just be aware of that. Let's see. One thing that's important to talk about is when you make an offer, sellers can pretty much do whatever they want to do. Within the law, they can. They can accept an offer that we're writing or you're writing, and yeah, I accept it, and they didn't quite get around to signing it, and a couple hours later another full price offer comes in and they take that one and kick your deal out. It happens. So just be aware of that as well. You probably know that one. I deliver all the paperwork to the attorney, the check, everything else. We're going to talk about financing. It's an important thing that we keep an eye on. And that is that particular phase. Okay, so we've gone all through 3 phases: discovery, explore, execution, now completion. We've written the contract, it's accepted. Now we got to talk about expectations one more time. Because there's a certain paragraph in the contract, paragraph 8, and that talks about you have the right to inspect the home. We're going to bring in a home inspector. You all are used to this. But They're going to go in and they're going to look for items that need to be repaired and things like that, and you have every right to do that. So that means that things are going to be fixed typically under normal wear and tear in a pretty much of a normal situation, okay? Normal wear and tear. So that doesn't mean they're going to put a new roof on. That doesn't mean they're going to put all new siding on. That doesn't mean all that. That means they should be able to repair items on the list that are subject to normal wear and tear expectations. So they're going to find things, and we're going to go over the list. And they're going to fix it. They don't have to. They can say, no, we're not going to fix it. We negotiated the price. That's the way it goes. Well, they have every right to do that, and then you can do whatever you want to do. I'll be right there with you, and we'll figure out what to do, depending on the property. So we're going to talk about flood insurance. If you're on the mainland, lots and lots of the areas are not in a high risk area. They're just not, which means you don't have to have flood insurance if you're having the property financed. If you're in a high-risk area, the bank will have you get flood insurance, and it can be expensive. But if you're not in a high-risk area and you're having it financed, you can get flood insurance for $500 a year. Just peace of mind. It's something to consider, and we'll talk all about it. Last-minute items, closing, financing. Is your financing together? Financing, inspections, things like that. Keep the deal together, and you're typically going to close 30, 45, no more than 60 days out, depending on what the transaction is. They're all different. Very, very active area. People coming down here. New Jersey. What is it with New Jersey? Everybody's moving out. Anyway, Midwest, North, everybody's coming down to the area, and it's heaven down here. So once you close, we're going to party. That's when we're going to party, because you're going to love it. All of my clients that buy down here and they actually take possession and they begin living in their property, they are thrilled. So anyway, that's my 4-step process. Maybe you picked up some pointers in that. You can email me if you like, jw@lowcountrydreamhomes.com. Call me anytime. I go to sleep early though. 843-295-2114. I'll be happy to show you around. I will give you hotel and places to stay recommendations. I've even put together a restaurant list. So I try to make it as easy as I can for people coming down because they don't know the area. So I try to make it as easy as I can. So give me a call, shoot me an email, come down, and we will find your dream home.